Tonight! They're now selling wearable Simba tails at the Magic Kingdom. Don't worry, you can also use it to pry open monorail windows when they break down. We can't breathe it in. The canopy was removed from the Haunted Mansion queue during the hottest month of the year. Quote, you can't have these problems if you don't build one, said Toy Story Land.
Wow. Burn.
Yeah, and Disney is data mining guests more than ever, according to the LA Times. Wait, is going through our comment section data mining? Guys, they don't like these country bear rumors. They don't like them. You've seen WDW News Today. Now it's time for WDW News Tonight.
Live from WDWNT Studio in Orlando, Florida, it's WDW News Tonight with Tom Corliss and Nick Cicero. I'm Nick Cicero. Now, here's your host, Tom Corliss.
Thank you. Yay, fake applause. Woo. Maybe for the last time.
Whoa.
Maybe. We're going to talk about that later. I'm Tom Corliss. You're not. Thank you for watching WDW News Tonight. Nick Cicero, who just introduced himself, obviously is here. And the boy is here. And we bought him some new clothes. It's not a striped
Not striped. I miss it.
The cover came off the seat. These seats are
What's
terrible.
with the seats this week?
I don't know. The padding keeps falling off the seat. Switch to your camera so I can fix this.
Hey.
Yours came off too.
Yeah.
What came off?
The padding of your seat.
No.
Mine's is weirdly like.
I have the
What's going on
one
here?
that the padding's glued to the seat. The padding always falls off, and now I traded with Tom. That's why his padding's falling off.
Jerk.
Well, I didn't trade on purpose. DJ Rex must have taken this seat last week while I was gone.
Oh, that must have.
You know, he can come back at any time.
He could, but he won't. Because
Because I threw him across the room.
Stifled
after
him.
You
the
might as
show
well
ended.
switch to that camera. Because he's... Don't look. I like that there's just junk thrown there. Like, we're not gonna go to that camera. Just throw all the other stuff on there.
I don't even know why I set that camera up today.
There's also some free coasters we got at Coronado Springs.
Oh, boy.
Yeah. Let's just do the whole show, but keep it on that camera. And now the news. No, stay on that camera. Here we go.
DJ
Now
Rex.
the news brought to you by the Lost Bros.
He did a good job last week, by the way.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, I was
Are you
listening.
proud of your droid?
I was entertained. Yeah, very. He's my boy. I know you have yours.
That's fine.
All right, we can
I
switch-
taught DJ Rex well.
you can switch your
I
okay.
prepped him for
Yeah.
a week to take over for me.
There you go. Anyway, we'll talk more about why that might have been the last fake applause and more. This is sort of the end of an era tonight on News Tonight. But we'll talk about that later.
We're all quitting.
This wouldn't be the first time that's happened. It's been a long time. Disneyland turned 64 years old yesterday, but Bob Iger accidentally tweeted that it was 54 years old.
That's a joke in itself.
In fairness, I'll probably be removing the Chapek years from my mind after they're over, too. So. Disneyland's 55.
Yes.
Tom, you're 10 years off. Abigail Disney, Roy O. Disney's granddaughter and Walt Disney's great-niece, recently expressed her anger with working conditions for Disneyland cast members following an undercover visit in an interview with Yahoo News. Yahoo's still a thing. That's news to me. Anyway, Abigail said she made the visit after she received a Facebook message from a cast member at the park. After speaking with cast members, she said she was so livid with what she heard. Quote, every single one of these people I talked to were saying, I don't know how I can maintain this face of joy and warmth when I have to go home and forage for food in other people's garbage. Meanwhile, my employees are complaining about how many cupcakes they have to eat. Yeah, I want you guys to think about that next time.
You should share with the cast members.
I would buy them cupcakes. They want to review cupcakes. I'll buy cast
There you
members
go.
cupcakes.
Look
sure.
at that.
Quote, I was so livid when I came out of there because, you know, my grandfather, Royo Disney, taught me to revere these people that take your tickets, that pour your soda, that scrape the bubble gum off the sidewalks every night. So you walk into that immaculate place. I don't know when the last time she went was. Those people are much of the recipe for success, and in a company that's never been more profitable, there is no excuse for an employee to be using food stamps, to be doubling up on housing, to be rationing their insulin. Abigail said she tried to contact the Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger in an attempt to start a dialogue on the matter to no avail. Maybe she should get Twitter. She's expressed disappointment with Iger's lack of action. Quote, Bob needs to understand he's an employee just the same as the people scrubbing the gum off the sidewalk are employees. And they're entitled to all the same dignity and human rights that he is. Yeah. When Yahoo News reached out for comment from the Walt Disney Company, a spokesperson changed the subject and discussed their education initiative, Disney Aspire. Yeah, that's great.
Wow.
But how did Disney eventually completely respond to this? By forcing one of their Media List approved fan sites to post a rebuttal from one of their spokespeople.
Wow.
This is a real thing. Mice Chat posted this. And how do we know this is like a thing they do? Because they tried to do it with us once. Yeah. Fun fact. Quote, we generally avoid commenting on such baseless reports like this, but this one is particularly egregious, and we won't let this stand. This is an official statement from the Walt Disney Company, but after the whole unscrupulous thing, I don't think anyone cares anymore. Obviously, it's just post whatever you want. You can be as mean as you want to whoever. I don't care if their last name's Disney. It doesn't matter. We strongly disagree with this characterization of our employees and their experience at Disney. This widely reported stunt is a gross and unfair exaggeration of the facts that is not only a misinterpretation, but also an insult to the thousands of employees who are part of the Disney community. We continually strive to enhance the employment experience of our more than 200,000 employees through a variety of benefits and programs. Notice we're not talking about salary here, that provide them the opportunity, mobility, and well-being. At our parks in Orlando and Anaheim, the Walt Disney Company currently pays its hourly workers an average of $19.50 an hour. Can we think about this for a second? An average of $19.50 an hour. If you're gonna fudge numbers, usually you can get to the point where you can break that 20. Like, the numbers were so bad that Disney couldn't even push it that 50 cents into the 20s. Mind you, yeah. The best they could do was $19.50. That's what they could get away with. Quote, significantly above the federal minimum wage. Yeah, your average is. But, yeah, anyway. But we understand the challenges workers and families face in 2019 are complex and go beyond the paycheck. That's why we provide a wide range of benefits and initiatives to improve our employees' lives at and outside of work, from subsidized childcare to generous leave policies, from convenient access to pharmacies and clinics to free college degrees and vocational training programs for hourly employees. We recognize the economic challenges facing all... Yeah, here are the smiling cast member pictures that Mice Chat forced in, that I'm sure Disney provided. We recognize the economic challenges facing all working families, and we continually meet with our employees in the process of developing even stronger programs. Still, we're proud of the work we've done to improve. Look at this again, patting ourselves on the back, just like Disney did in their little announcement after Star Wars Land opened without lines. And of more than 45,000 jobs we've added in the United States since 2005. The men and women who make the Disney parks such a special experience for millions of people are dedicated, hardworking, and proud. We agree with that, for sure. And we'll continue to listen to, empower, and reward them. Now, let's be honest for a minute here. We live in Orlando. And in Orlando, there's a couple of things that happen. Number one in Orlando is, and I live in an apartment complex fairly close to Walt Disney World. I will tell you, I know in apartments across the hall from me, there are 4 or more cast members in each of those apartments living in 2 bedrooms together. And I'm not saying they're couples. There's 4 to 6 cast members who aren't together in relationships living together in apartments all around me right now. I know for a fact those college program kids, there's a whole bunch of them in each of those apartments. We won't even talk about how the college program is sort of free slave labor for the Walt Disney Company. Won't get into that. But if you for a second believe that everybody working for the Walt Disney Company is living comfortably, that couldn't be further from the truth. So I don't know what Disney's saying, especially in Anaheim, where the cost of living is ridiculous. I've seen studio apartments that are one room in Anaheim where cast members are living that was like $1,200 a month.
Yeah.
That's a studio apartment. It's one singular room, $1,200, and people are scrounging to make that happen. So, yeah. Maybe the Walt Disney Company should worry more about fixing these problems than responding to people they should just leave alone, like Abigail Disney.
So, why did they reach out directly through a fan-owned site instead of the blog, the Parks blog?
Why did the Disney Parks blog feel the need to make 2 posts directly pointed at us?
Right.
There clearly is like a new direction.
Okay.
Clearly, they had a little meeting and they were like, all right, well, we're tired of getting pushed around and everyone's pushing. Instead of understanding that as the Walt Disney Company, there's a tone they have to take. There's an acceptable tone. You're a family-friendly organization.
Right.
There's a professionalism there. And instead now, because they're angry that they've sort of been pushed around by people, they're like lashing out at everybody. And that's what the PR department has decided they're going to do now.
Do you think they see this approach as less harsh than putting it out through a Disney-owned medium? Or
I don't know why they chose to do it that way. Maybe because they thought it was too harsh for their channel.
Yeah.
But they certainly didn't think the Tiki Room and Bears things were too ridiculous for their channel. So I couldn't tell you what goes on in their mind.
I wonder how many sites they reached out to ask if they could print.
Well, I will tell you,
this.
our personal experience was I think it's been well documented what happened when we went back on the media list, that we were told we would have access to certain events.
Right.
And we, ran stuff through them as they asked. I told them when we were going to run rumor stories and things like that. And then they decided just not to invite us to events they promised we would go to, which was their end of sort of the deal of us like warning them like, hey, we've got this information, we're going to run it, and so in the end they didn't let us in those events, so I ran all those stories that they kind of wanted me to hold. And in the process after that, the Disneyland team did not have the problem with us that the Florida team had. The Florida team had decided they were no longer going to work with us. But the California, the people in the PR department based in California, the Disneyland Resort team, decided that we were a valuable asset and that they should work with us. And we were working together on some things. And there was obviously, I forget the story that sparked it, but there was a story about wages in Anaheim. And in response, they asked us to interview a cast member. They asked us to interview a cast member.
Okay.
And there was a lot of deliberation here. It's like, well,
a specific cast member?
It was
or
not a
your
spokesperson.
choice? Like,
no, they handed us.
They handed you a cast member. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
No, because I would have went and asked for, I would have went in the park and just like picked somebody out.
Just
I would have picked out the person that looked the most sad and been like, I want to talk to that guy. Let's find out what that guy thinks of his job here.
Yeah.
But no, they gave us a person who I think was not a front of the line, not a frontline cast member from what I remember. I'd have to reread the article. But there was a lot of deliberation here. Should we do it? And I think what we landed on at the time was it was fair, because I think all of the media was blah, 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 this, and this. And we kind of just wanted people to make up minds for themselves. And that's the way we worded the article. And certainly none of the wording in that was like, this claim is egregious. And it didn't even really, our little blurb at the top mentioned the story that was going around. The interview with the cast member, at no point does the cast member even talk about the story. There's no recognition from the company of that story. The company just wanted to put out an example of a cast member who had opportunities to move up and make money.
Right.
And so we ran that in an act of good faith in a lot of ways. And I didn't think it was anything particularly, like it wasn't slanted or anything. I thought it was pretty fair. And then needless to say, Florida got mad that California was giving us access and said, no, you have to do the same thing we're doing. And basically the California representative was just like, we want to work with you guys, but Florida's really just not letting us.
Wow.
And they were like, all right, fine. Yeah, and this is another one of those cases where how can we get reach? How can we get this story out there? And they decided to put it through Mice Chat, which hasn't been relevant in I don't know how long, but we won't get into that now. It's also the site that said It's a Small World was closing recently, I think. But yeah, I make up stuff.
All right. Wow.
Yeah, I think it's gross. I think as the Disney company, you turn the other cheek. I think that's your job. I think they should have just not even like said anything about it. They should just let it go away.
It's obvious lashing out. I just find it fascinating to, the difference between the unscrupulous stuff, which was published through their own medium, which I guess makes sense because you wouldn't want necessarily to reach out to another fan-owned website.
And they certainly could have done it in a more respectful way,
fan-owned,
though. I think
yeah.
it was written in a very like, we don't like you.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Of
As
course.
opposed to, I think in the past, like, I remember every Tom, Dick, and Harry was posting that the name of Hollywood Studios was changing. And Disney,
Right.
to their credit, I think, handled it in a very good way. They put out a post, which I think, for the most part, just talked about Toy Story Land opening soon.
Yeah.
And in the middle of it, it said, oh, and by the way, despite rumors, we are going to keep the name of the park as it is, Disney's Hollywood Studios, as we feel like that encapsulates
Right.
what this park is.
And that's fine.
And that was, and I thought like, okay, so you told everybody the rumors are false. All right.
Yeah.
You didn't write like, well, according to these idiots, unscrupulous sources said it's going to be Disney's Hyperia XL theme park. They've clearly taken a new direction. I'm sure there's some sort of new management in the PR department. I'm sure they all got yelled at, and now they were told like, we're going to go a new direction, and things are going to be different now. We're going to take control of all this, and blah blah blah. I don't think it's any secret that right now Disney there are a couple of sites, ourselves included, that operate outside of their control. There are a couple of sites that are able to post honest reviews and say what we think, and we don't worry about it. We don't need a media credential to do what we do here, and our page views and success show that we don't. And I think they would like to get rid of the 3 or 4 of us that remain, and I think that's the current goal.
Yeah.
The current goal is to weed us out. Yeah. And they would like to control the media. I understand that. I think it's unfair. I think maybe they should just worry about doing a good job and spending money and doing the right things that they should do, like maintaining attractions and things like that. And then you wouldn't have to worry about me, because let's look at it this way. For many years, I don't think we were particularly negative. I think we were really positive. I think they were doing good stuff. And I think we wrote them glowing reviews. Cars Land and Pandora, and there were a lot of good restaurants that opened in that time. You're talking about Tiffin's and a bunch of good resort restaurants I can't even think of right now. Sanaa and all those. So we're talking about most of WDWNT's lifetime. There's a lot of very positive things that happened, and so we wrote them very positive reviews. And every once in a while there was a restaurant or something we didn't like, we're honest, but I mean it was like 9 out of 10 things were this was done well and we liked this, and so it wasn't like some conscious change here. Like clearly things have gone awry in the company, and we've seen quality slip, and things are not good right now. And that's why we are where we are. And so despite what the Walt Disney Company wants to think, and that people are trying to drum up narratives that things are bad and blah, 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 there's no narrative. So anyway, that's where things are. Just wanted to rant as usual. Should we move on? We should move on to more positive
Nothing gets
things.
my blood boiling like a Disney PR statement.
Yeah. It's just gross. She's a Disney family member. You quote Walt Disney every day on that goddamn blog. And Bob Chapek just went in Forbes and evoked the name of Walt Disney to make his point. And yet the minute someone with the last name Disney speaks out and says you're not living up to our family, what our family wanted, you say that they're making an egregious misstatement. That's that goes against what you're saying. You can't evoke the name when you want it and then shun the Disney name when you don't. That's not how this works. Anyway, we'll move on. According to the Orlando Sentinel, appears an employee at Reedy Creek Improvement District's main office, which handles building codes, road construction, fire rescue, and landscaping throughout Disney-owned land, mistakenly wired $722,000 to what they believed was a legitimate landscaping vendor. They should have noticed something was wrong when the name of the company was Backdoor Disney LLC.
He can't do that. He's in jail.
Oh boy, rough subject. The email hacking issues began back in February when they were supposedly directed by a vendor to make payments to a new Capital One account, which ended up being fraudulent. Turns out the employee who had been duped by 2 Louisiana men who were ultimately arrested and charged with wire fraud. Can we show the 2 suspects? We have a picture of the suspects, the 2 Louisiana men. There they are. Oh, God. Poor Reedy Creek.
Yes.
They just wanted to feed some alligators. That's all they wanted to do. These kinds of hacking issues like phishing, whaling, and bloggers obtaining secret plans plague offices globally and can cause permanent financial loss. And while the Reedy Creek Improvement District was able to recover some of the money back from the fraudulent wire, according to the report, the government suffered a permanent loss of $93,658 or $93,533 more than a Disney after-hours ticket.
Oh.
Poor guys. And they went back to feeding alligators. Disney has officially announced that on September 29th, the Skyliner will take flight and begin transporting guests around the Walt Disney World Resort.
Yay.
Of course, as we hashed out in an earlier assessment of the Skyliner openings, according to construction personnel working on the project, select Disney Skyliner lines may still open to guests in late August. So whom should you trust? Stay tuned to find out. See you on August 28th, everybody. The second... We're wrong. The second floor... They'll just not open it to spite me now.
Yeah.
Construction guys definitely didn't know what they were talking about.
Well, no, they were fed that.
I'm sure they
knew
were.
You would ask.
Yeah, I'm sure the guys standing out in the heat were like, yeah, we're going to open today. The second floor signature restaurant, Citricos at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, will reportedly be converted into Victoria and Albert's Bistro as part of a continued reimagining of the hotel. Man, I can't wait for the elaborate backstory where Victoria and Albert bought the neighboring restaurant. Yeah, they had to save up for a long time. They don't make a lot of money at Victoria and Albert's. Scraps. They get just a little bit of money from every meal. The first of the major changes to the lobby is already underway. Of course, a conversion of Misner's and Commander Porter's into a Beauty and the Beast themed bar. That's not a joke.
So
It's
good.
a real thing that's happening. You may recall a story from a few years ago where he told you that Bob Chapek was not a fan of the Grand Floridian, and well, now he's been in charge for a few years, which is gross. It seems that they are finally getting... Don't care. Someone print that out for him. And it seems... Oh my... Keep digging that hole. And it seems that they are finally getting around to gutting that lobby in phases as he wanted it. While the next phase includes Citricos for sure, we also know that the concierge level lounge in the lobby building will be getting an overhaul imminently. The space at today is Citricos was once Flagler's Restaurant, which opened on June 28, 1988, before both I and the boy were born.
Yep. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Me too. I was not born by then either.
It featured Italian and continental cuisines, like Tony's. It closed on July 6, 1997, also before the boy was born, to become Citricos on November 8th, which was after the boy was born. So, while the timeline remains unclear for when Citricos will close for these changes, it should be after the bar project is complete, but before Primeval World reopens. Yeah, thanks. No one got it. We assume we don't know when it's coming back. We assume that it'll entail a remodeling of the dining space and an overhaul of the menu at the very least. So, what exactly is happening in total to Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa? Well, based on the concept art that we've seen for the bar, and what we now know will make up the rest of the project, I assume that Mr. Chapek's dreams will come true, and not the ones about him becoming human. Those will never be true, but because he is in fact a robot. I assume that elements in development for the Fantasy Springs Hotel in Tokyo and the upcoming reimagining of the similar Disneyland Hotel in Paris are being shared between all three for a new deluxe resort with Disney Princess Elements motif. Good times. Yep, let's just have a bunch of the same hotels across the world. It'd be great. Disney has announced several returning favorites and some all-new experiences for their annual Magic Kingdom Halloween parties, highlighted by the debut of the Disney's Not-So-Spooky Spectacular Fireworks Show. Jack Skellington from Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas serves as the host for this all-new extravaganza. Jack has come to tell a not-so-scary story about how anything can happen on Halloween night, August 16th. Jack,
I don't know what the joke is.
it's the first party.
Is it? No.
Yeah. It's the same date as last year, I think. Nick has no idea.
Nick's
How do you work here?
There's no way it's August. It's August?
It's August.
It's been August for like several years now.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Because money.
I think I knew that, but that's just crazy.
I think I knew that, sure. Jack's ghost dog Zero then flies off, carrying everyone along on a trick-or-treating adventure where 4 friends, Mickey, Minnie, Donald, and Goofy, find themselves drawn into a mysterious haunted house. Their journey takes them from one room of the house to another, encountering dancing skeletons, waltzing ghosts, and a Toy Story audio animatronic marionette show.
That's pretty scary.
Oh no! He's gonna do it!
That's where it went.
Where will it go now? Disney's not so... He needs the animatronics, though. Disney's Not So Spooky Spectacular promised to be the perfect Halloween treat. Meanwhile, several attractions across the park will receive special enhancements just for the Halloween party. New this year, when you follow the treat trail into the monster world at the Laugh Floor, they'll interact in all new ways with a comic cast of monsters as they learn about the curious human world holiday we call Halloween. They'll also be learning about your personal preferences through data mining. Yeah. Sadly, overlays for Big Thunder and the People Mover didn't make the cut. These were on the schedule. They didn't happen. Yeah, they got canceled, so you can say it with me. Because money. Surprise. Don't worry, everybody, though. While you may not have that Halloween People Mover overlay, we have one here at WDWNT for you. Can we show people our People Mover overlay?
I'm excited.
Here we go.
There we go.
Oh.
There it is! It's the Person Mover! Tom Corliss wants to ride alone. And of course, I don't ride any rides with other people. So it's the Person Mover. Presented by WDWNT.com at Unscrupuland.
Oh my gosh.
The best part, this is a shirt. You can buy this as a shirt now on TeePublic. Jason will tell you how. Jason, do we know how? Do we have a link or anything? Maybe not. Probably not.
Not quite yet.
All right, soon.
TeePublic.
It's going to be available.
No, not TeePublic.
It's TeePublic.
TeePublic?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
No, we're doing different stuff with Lost Bros. We do have
Right.
stuff coming up with Lost Bros, but some of our
Sorry,
parody
that's,
shirt things where we create the art, we're going to release
Yeah,
on TeePublic.
okay.
Yeah. There you go. Of course, don't worry, everybody. Your favorite overlay, Man on a Bridge in the Dark, will return this year as well at Pirates of the Caribbean. So enjoy that. Man on a Bridge in the Dark yelling at you. Back for a second.
Actually, the shirt's for sale. We got it up.
Well, we got it.
Just go to WWNT.com and click on the TeePublic banner on the left side, and it'll be right there. The People Mover shirt. Person Mover shirt.
Person Mover.
Pleasure
Just for
Island
me.
tonight. That's
Person
He's
Mover.
been at Pleasure Island for months.
pretty cool.
He really liked that event we had.
So did I.
It's my favorite.
Yes, but we're of course evil and don't do good things. We are mean.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, we're having an Illuminations event, but it's going to be a surprise. Like, we're just going to tell them we hate the show. Tell the creators to their face we don't like Illumination. That's how mean we are. The Astro Orbiter is now down for unplanned maintenance of the Magic Kingdom. If only the park had something similar to fill the void while it's gone. Should have built an Arabian Orbiter or something. You know, it's so unfair. Because that lead-in joke was good and you all didn't get it. There's literally 3 other spinners in that park. If you guys went to the park, you'd know.
What park are we talking about?
No, they're not the same.
Unscrupulous.
None of them are on top of the
Okay.
People Mover.
I'm not sure where
None
the
of them
Astro
are on
Orbiter is.
top of the Person Mover.
That's fair.
They're different.
I can't wave up to any of them. So yeah, now both the Astro Orbiter and Primeval Whirl are down for unknown reasons. I tell you why, but the Parks Blog would just tell you I'm lying. So
Ah!
a little rocket told us. Club Cool has run out of Beverly just weeks before the current location closes. Don't worry, cast members probably have some disinfectant you can drink if you're that upset. Tastes about the same. You know, personally, I think Beverly tastes how Epcot feels now. Kind of bland, but it leaves a bad taste in your mouth because you know the company that made it could do better if they stuck with the good recipes. Yup. No! That was a good one. I don't stand by that decision. Anyway, that camera's looking for something on
was
the
alright.
table. What'd you
Our
drop?
camera has decided to stop working.
Which camera stopped working?
Nick and
Oh, I'm
I's.
frozen.
Oh, the one with the 2 of you?
Yeah.
Switch to it. Oh, it's working fine. There you go.
Oh, I'll look into that shortly.
Okay.
I don't know why you looked under the table.
I think I was sleeping.
What?
It might have been.
Were you sleeping?
I think he fell asleep.
No, I was reading the script, but it looks like
Nick's
I'm
like,
sleeping.
are you sleeping? Why is the table blue?
I think it was part of the camera.
Oh, but
Yeah.
it cuts off perfectly at the table? Look
Yeah, I guess
It
so.
looks like it's a blue tablecloth.
It's a striped tablecloth I got going. Yeah.
Oh man.
Disney's Hollywood Studios will be keeping most of its Star Wars offerings, including Launch Bay, Galaxy Far, Far Away, Galactic Spectacular, and even Jedi Trading Academy, after Galaxy's Edge opens. Yeah, it's a good thing we ended Star Wars weekends because the new 14-acre land would be enough Star Wars for us. Thanks, Disney. Also, a Darth Vader meet and greet is returning to Launch Bay, but don't worry, you guys. Basing a land on the current trilogy was definitely the right decision. You've made the right choice. Yeah, not hitting the panic button or anything. Yesterday marked the last ever Mickey's Soundsational Parade at Disneyland. But don't worry, they'll still get Rapunzel to come down from her tower every day with those 99-cent refills. Yeah. I'm joking, of course. She has the deluxe annual pass, so she can't come down.
Jeez.
She can only come down into Disney California
Nice.
Adventure. Yeah. Disneyland annual pass holders can now purchase a refillable mug to quench their thirst at the parks. The mug costs $14.99 plus tax. It offers refills on soda, coffee, tea, and hot chocolate at only 99 cents. Yeah, through September 5th. Yeah, Trader Sam is also having a special. 2 of his drinks for the price of 1. What's happening over there?
I don't know.
Is that the doorbell? You should answer it.
It's Disney.
Anyway.
There.
We don't like what you're doing. Please stop. Oh, man. Oh, Victoria and Albert told us. A little Victoria and Albert told us.
That'd be great. Victoria and Albert show up.
They're like leprechauns are tiny.
Love to meet them.
Hey, you be messing with our restaurant, you be.
We should have an event with all the restaurant owners. Victoria, Albert, Tony, everybody.
Who is the one in California?
Oh, goodness.
At Wine Country? Trattoria?
Trattoria. Yeah, I don't remember his name.
Oh,
That's a
he
shame.
made up a fake guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You thought there was a painting of him on the wall?
Oh yeah, but it was
But it
great.
was just great.
I had a little too much wine that night.
God. Anyway. A bottle refill station has debuted in Tomorrowland at Disneyland, so get ready to drink some water fresh from the submarine lagoon.
Oh.
Yeah, it tastes like mermaid because it is. That was probably the worst joke of the week. But that one's this.
I like that one.
Anyway.
You didn't laugh.
Who could tell the camera's frozen? No idea.
I need to.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well,
Laughing isn't.
Let's see if he laughed. Go back
measure
to
of
go to the
funny.
camera.
it's gone now.
No, it's gone now.
It's
Fine.
black now.
Anyway,
Everything's fine.
the worst Splash Mountain ride in the world celebrated its 30th birthday yesterday with a wooden bottle, a T-shirt, and a fishing hat.
Nah.
All this is perfect for those trekking across the country to ride a good Splash Mountain. Sucks.
Yeah, it's not good.
Disney has released a series of pens featuring characters eating.
Yes.
Yeah, even none of them are eating at Tony's, though. Even a cartoon character can't survive that. It's like the dip. Tony's red sauce is also the dip. One part
Great.
turpentine, one part benzene.
Love it.
All right. The Dapper Dan's barber shop in Paris is being moved off of Main Street and into the Liberty Arcade to make more space for the already massive Emporium. The barbershop will strangely be built in the often unused Statue of Liberty diorama viewing area. So the diorama will be the back wall of the barbershop. Weird. Meanwhile, the Harmony Barbershop will close at the Magic Kingdom and be moved into the Stitch's Great Escape viewing area.
Nah.
There you go.
That's a funny one.
Thanks. That's well. Can I do it with the original intended joke? I'm going to do the original one. Meanwhile, the Harmony Barbershop at the Magic Kingdom will be moving into the often unused Rivers of Light viewing area.
Not as good. But
Please
still
tell
pretty
me in the
funny.
chat which one was funnier, because there was a big argument.
Stitch.
Oh, I don't think so. I thought the Rivers one was better. But Nick, that's the news. Tell us who brought us the news on your frozen camera.
News brought to you by the Lost Bros. It doesn't matter because we're going to be showing the great products by the Lost Bros instead of my face. So, because they make great apparel, posters, and home goods for theme park fans of all ages. You can shop their whole site by going to WDWNT.com, clicking on their ad. The shop
They have
designs...
a person mover shirt. Look at that.
Do
There
they?
you go.
Oh, it's people mover.
People move.
If you want the people mover shirt, you go to them. If you
Yeah.
want the person mover shirt, you go to us.
Shop designs like their classic waffle and bacon crossbones, the Drink Around the World tour collection, their princess jerseys, and park favorites like their Dole Whip pocket tees, the Tomorrowland Drive-In Theater, and the Birds Who Sing Words tour poster. Make the most of tonight's commercial breaks. Shop their extensive collection, The Lost Bros, an official partner of WDW News Tonight.
Thank you, Nick. All right. So we're going to take a commercial break. And we got a lot more tonight. We have a really big announcement concerning the future of the show in episode 100.
Oh.
We have the pyramid when we come back. Do we already have contestants lined up for that? Is that right?
Yeah, we do.
We do. So WWNT, the Pyramid Disneyland Edition, Psychotic comments, and much, much more when we come back tonight.
Afraid of crowds in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge? Don't worry, they didn't show up here at Disneyland! Upgrade your annual pass today and enjoy what we finished of Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You can stand in the Forgotten Forest of Batuu. Is that the Forgotten Forest or just Fantasyland without crowds? You decide! Back here on Earth, enjoy all the pathways that were widened and planters we removed all around the park for absolutely nothing. Hooray! There's so much more room for activities. You can also park wherever you want at the Disneyland Resort. Park over the line, across the line, over 4 spaces, whatever, it doesn't matter anymore. What's that? Low crowds aren't enough? You need more. Well, who has 99-cent refills if you buy an ugly tumbler? Who does? We does. On the floor and out the door. Not good enough? Screw it. Free refills for life. Come to Disneyland. There's even free beer at Disney California Adventure. That's right, the band Free Beer is playing all summer at the Paradise Garden stage. And don't miss our weekly specials. This week, all Spirit jerseys are buy one, get one free. All purchases also include complimentary seating in the newly reimagined Main Street Cinema. And remember, the only place to buy limited edition pins is now inside the park. So if you want to keep that eBay and or personal shopper business afloat, you'll have to buy a ticket. Wait, you think we should just lift the blockout dates on the more than $800 a year deluxe pass? We aren't that desperate yet. Are we? Are we that desperate, Bob? Bob's telling me we're not yet. He's really smart about these things. So come on down to Disneyland. We're still here, and we have Star Wars Land. No, Darth Vader isn't in it.
Come on down to Disneyland. We don't have Darth Vader, but come on down to Disneyland. All right, welcome back to WDW News Tonight. We are live on Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and WDWNtunes.com. Wherever you're joining us, thank you for joining us. This evening, we're going to play a little game. We have some people pre-signed up to play WDWNT The Pyramid, right?
Yeah, we do.
And they're already on the line. We have them ready to go.
Yeah, we do.
And we
So-
got Cam and Nick.
So there's something happening. Yeah, you guys,
What?
it's fixed. Yeah.
I'm here.
We can't tell you why tonight, but you're not going to win prizes.
They can't ship things anymore.
No. So you're going to win something that eventually can turn into prizes, but we're not going to tell you yet. We're going to tell you
It's
on
one of those little
episode
capsules
100.
that you put in water.
That would still be a prize.
Okay.
But you will get something that can be redeemed for prizes in a manner we will explain on episode 100. So that's what's happening. So don't worry, you win something that will be of value to you at a later date.
Now you have to wait longer
please
for your prize.
Bear with me. Yeah, you do. But it'll be something kind of cool because you guys may never get mailed something you don't want ever again. So bear with us this week. If you win, you'll get some of these things that you can trade in, and eventually we'll explain how that works and why it's a really cool thing on episode 100. That's what's happening. But Pyramid.
Oh, wow, look at that. Is that new?
No, we had that last time.
I don't
This is very old.
remember that. That's so good. Welcome to the Pyramid, WDWNT, the Pyramid. We're going to be playing with some contestants here. We do have a couple of contestants online. We do want to get some more lined up because we have plenty of games to play with you guys tonight.
Show 'em that
so
phone
if
number,
you'd
Cameron.
like to call us, you can. The phone number is...
Okay, Nick's going to wait for it to show on the screen.
Coming.
I have it. No, I have it somewhere.
Me too.
832-7WDWNT7. That's
7?
7. 832-7WDWNT7 is
7?
yeah, 7 is the phone number to call if you want to get in line to play WDWNT, the Pyramid. Like I said, we already have a couple contestants online. So the idea of the Pyramid here is we have a bunch of categories in front of us. You're going to get to pick one of the categories. The categories can have cryptic names in them, but they relate to the answers in that category. We're going to put 60 seconds on the clock, and you're going to get to pick either Cameron, myself, or Tom, and we're going to give you clues, and you're going to have to guess what we're giving you clues to, what word we're trying to get you to say without saying the word in our clues. We're going to try to get through 7 items.
7?
Yeah, 7 items in each category in order to win a prize. And like I said, they have something to do with the category name. So we're going to bring on our first contestant. It's going to be Mandy tonight. So, guys, if you could bring Mandy on the line for me. Good evening, Mandy.
Hello?
Hey, Mandy, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing well.
Now, I'm pretty sure you're a veteran to our WDWNT games, right? You're the same Mandy that played a bunch of games with us, correct? All right. So, Mandy, have you ever played the Pyramid with us?
No.
All right. So, do you understand how it's played? You're going to have 60 seconds to guess 7 different clues in a given category. All right.
Okay.
All right. So, who would you like to be giving the clues to? Would you like to play with Cameron, myself, or Tom?
You.
Me. Oh my goodness! What? This is crazy.
Nick was never picked for dodgeball.
I don't know what to do. All right. So, here are your categories. We could play 77 feet. This is the name of the first category.
7.
Heimlich's Choo Choo is the name of the category number 2. And a matter of memory is the third category you get to choose from. So 77 feet, Heimlich's Choo Choo, or a matter of memory. Which one would you like to go with?
Heimlich's Choo Choo.
All right, Heimlich's Choo Choo. All right, Heimlich's Choo Choo category. This is name these popular food items that you could find at Disneyland, okay? All right, so this is going to be, we're going to put 60 seconds on the clock. Clock's going to start when I start giving you your clues. You ready?
Yes.
All right, here we go. This is a long item that is battered, like kind of fried. People usually eat them on buns, but in this...
Corn dog.
Yes. This item is like fried dough, usually covered with sugar.
Churros.
Yes. This one you find in New Orleans, very famous there. Again, I think fried.
Julep?
No, it's a fried food.
No. Beignet.
Yes, a beignet. This one's popular, especially in Adventureland. You can take them in the tiki room with you.
The Dole Whip.
Yes. This one's at Galaxy's Edge. There's a droid that actually spins the meats to kind of cure the meats, and then he puts them.
Oh, the Ronto Wrap?
Ronto Wrap, yes. This one's shaped like a famous mouse. It's a frozen treat. Kids love it. Gets all over their face, sticky fingers. It's on a stick. They eat it. Frozen.
The ice cream, the Mickey ice cream.
Mickey Ice Cream Bar, yes. And this one drips all over things. It's really messy. And people eat it like cavemen in like Frontierland.
The turkey leg.
Turkey leg. There you go.
That's all 7.
Good job, Mandy.
You will win a nondescript thing that could be traded in for other things at a time to be determined in the future.
Yay!
That sounds great.
I want
Jason
that.
will take your information and explain to you what's happening. Thank you for playing.
Nice job, man. That was the first time I got to play Pyramid with somebody, so I really appreciate that experience. Thank you so much.
Was that the absolute first time?
I've never had to give. Maybe you
Wow.
and I played it, because we didn't have a
but
contestant.
you've never
but-
played with one of our callers. That's
Yeah.
fun.
All right, thank you, Mandy. All right, next up, I think was it Derek? Sorry, because I'm playing now. I have to jump around to different things.
Dwayne.
It's
Dwayne,
Dwayne.
thank you. Dwayne, good evening, Dwayne.
Good evening.
Hello.
Where are you calling in from, Dwayne?
Indiana.
Indiana. All right, good to have you tonight. Thanks for calling in to WDW News Tonight. Did you catch the rules for the pyramid? You heard us play with Mandy, right?
Yep.
All right, so who would you like to play the pyramid with, Cameron, Nick, or Tom?
Let's go with Cameron.
Cameron.
All right.
Here you go. Have him pick one of the
I hope
categories
Cameron remembers how to
I hope
play.
I remember how to play this.
You could give him 3 choices. So give him 3 choices, not the one that
Give
I
him
played.
the names of the categories.
Category number 1, we have 77 feet.
Mm-hmm.
Category number 2, Windows 55.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that one.
Trying to pick something that I can help you here with. Category number 3, Fantastic Voyages.
Let's go with number 3.
Alrighty.
Fantastic Voyages.
Fantastic Voyages.
All right, so Dwayne, I'm going to put 60 seconds on the clock. The clock will start when Cameron starts giving you clues.
Name these Fantasyland rides
yeah.
is the category. Fantastic
Fantasyland
Voyages.
rides. Okay.
Yeah, you just got to start, Cameron.
Okay. Number 1 is a smoking. She falls down the hole. A ride only at Disneyland.
Alice in
exclusive.
Wonderland?
Yep.
Yeah.
This one you go to hell. Also only at Disneyland. Anything?
The Matterhorn?
Nope. It's a dark ride. One of the few remaining dark rides. Only at Disneyland. Exclusive to Disneyland.
Tell him more
Skip
about
it.
it. Skip next.
Okay. This one used to be at Disney World. It is also used to be a dark ride. Very scary.
Nope. Next. Go to the next one.
Exclusive to Disneyland as well. You ride around in the water, looking at many different.
Matterhorn?
Nope. Many different
10 seconds.
classic. I can't use the words that are on this. It's very difficult. Skip that one.
That would be Small World?
Nope. Close. Are we out of time? We're out of
Yeah,
time.
but I'm going to let you try to finish this with him. It's
Yeah,
fun.
keep going.
You get on a small vehicle with many different people. You go around in the water. You look at many different nonfiction.
Classic fairy tales.
I can't say the words that are on this. It's very hard.
You go through Monstro's mouth.
Yeah, it would have been a good one.
No?
Anything?
Nothing?
I don't think he's got it.
No.
How about you go on a ride where the kid's nose grows?
See, yeah, I should have started with these ones.
Nothing?
His nose
No.
grows. He's a wooden boy.
Flying over London in a ship?
Pinocchio, obviously, apparently.
Oh, there you
Pinocchio.
go.
Obviously.
Yeah, he knew that one. Okay.
Flying over London in a ship.
Well, we tried. We tried.
That was fun.
Also, someone wrote out Mr. Toads on this sheet, Mister, and I've never been so bothered by anything in my life. Why is Nick digging through a bag?
I was looking for a pen.
He has a whole entire thing of them right
You
now.
want a
Yeah,
pen?
can I have a pen?
Let's see. Here's a pen for you.
Dwayne, I hope you learned your lesson to never play a game with me ever
Wow.
again.
Maybe we'll give Dwayne a smaller amount of the things that can be traded for other things out of pity for how bad that round was.
Oh.
So Dwayne, stay on the
We
line.
definitely will.
You will get something of some sort that adds up to something else.
All right. Well, thank you, Dwayne.
Thanks.
Now, let's bring on Sam to play the pyramid. Sam, good evening.
Yeah, no.
Hey, good to hear from you, Sam.
I look forward to winning Mythic Vagary.
Yeah.
You want to play with Nick or Tom?
Oh, man.
Yeah, who do
We'll
you
give Tom a shot.
You give Tom?
Oh, sure.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, so let's pick between some of these. Let's do... That one's terrible. I don't like that one either. I like some of these. Let's do the categories you can choose from. Mark 7.
7?
Yeah, 7. Mark 7. A Matter of Memory. Or Dive, Dive, Dive.
Matter of Memory.
A Matter of Memory. We're going to be naming things associated with the Matterhorn bobsleds, which was an attempted answer at every clue in the last round, I believe. So these are all
Where can you go the hell?
Rides in
Matterhorn.
Rides in the water. Matterhorn. Goes to space. Matterhorn.
I've never been to Disneyland. That's what I know.
He tried.
Yeah,
They,
no, it's
clearly,
okay.
I don't think Dwayne had
Yeah.
been to Disneyland,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he tried.
That's right.
Okay, so these are all things associated with the Matterhorn.
All right,
The clock
60
will
seconds
begin
on the clock.
when I start with the clue. It was the first tubular steel one of these.
Roller coaster.
Yes.
Monster who lives inside the mountain.
Harold, the Abominable Snowman.
What's the abominable snowman's name?
Harold.
These are things in the snow that light up and reflect light.
Crystals.
What's the mountain covered in?
Snow.
This is inside, and you could play a game on it.
The half court of basketball.
Yep. The famous spiel at the end of the ride asks you to do what?
Remain seated, please.
That's right. There you go. That's all 7.
Oh, beautiful. In 44 seconds. Nice job.
Poor Cameron.
Why wasn't one of them back pain?
I didn't make these, so don't ask me. We have a very talented team of game writers who meet every Monday to put these games together.
Sam was definitely like one of our first contestants on like original News Tonight. So
A radio show.
yeah, the radio show, and in show 99, he's still here, and he's going to get a nondescript prize.
He's going to get something,
Mythic Vagary!
a nondescript thing that will equal a prize.
Hey, it's better than waiting for Nick to send you something for 8 months, right?
Instead, you just wait for the things you need to
7
get the
months.
prizes free. Yeah, 7. All right, thank you, Sam.
Thanks, Sam. All right, next up we do.
No problem. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. We do have Alex to play the pyramid game. Good evening, Alex. Thanks for joining us on WDW News Tonight.
Hey, Nick. How's it going?
Doing great. So, Alex, you get the rules of the pyramid. Playing the game.
Yeah.
You got the rules. Okay.
Yeah, I've been watching.
Excellent. Thank you very much. And so, who would you like to give your clues tonight, Alex? Myself, Cameron, or Tom?
Let's do Tom.
Let's do Tom.
All right, so categories to choose from. Well, I don't like that one. That one makes no sense.
Yeah.
Categories are P, nighttime is the right time, or going, gone.
What was the first one?
The letter P.
Let's go with P.
P.
Yeah.
Let's go with P. Name these things. You probably didn't guess this would be what the category is. Name these things you could see at Disneyland that start with the letter P. And the clock will start
good.
60 seconds.
Like the park I've never been to.
Okay, we'll try our best.
Park starts with P. Good job.
The clock will start when I start giving the first clue. Here we
Wouldn't that
go.
be Shanghai? P.
Ooh.
Oh. Ooh.
This is a shop at the exit of the Many Adventures attraction in Critter Country. The place where a cuddly bear lives. Was a TV show on the Disney Channel back in the 80s.
Next.
Okay. This shoots out a penny, a flattened penny,
Elongated coin.
or elongated thing. You can't say that.
I didn't say it.
A penny roller.
No, it's a
No?
it's a device. You put money in it, and out comes an elongated coin.
A pressed penny.
Good though.
Sure.
Or a penny presser.
Restaurant in the Main Street area. It was built in the 60s. It's in the hub. Sells fried chicken. Mashed potatoes. It's buffeteria style.
No idea.
Let's pass. This is a wheeled thing in all over the park that sells food. Perhaps a food that you cook until it explodes.
Popcorn?
Yep,
A popcorn stand?
that's right. Character that's a dog.
Pluto.
Classic attraction in New Orleans Square. It's in Adventureland here at the Magic Kingdom.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
This is where Tinkerbell lives.
Pixie Hollow.
All right. Well, time's up.
Okay.
But
The
yeah,
ones
that
we didn't get was Pressed Coin Machine. Pressed Coin Machine. Plaza Inn is the restaurant in the hub. And you got the rest.
oh, Pooh Corner.
Oh, no, Pooh, the first we didn't get. Pooh Corner was the store. Pooh Corner, where
that was a hard one. Yeah.
I tried to say where a cuddly bear lives because it also was a TV show. Welcome to Pooh Corner in
True.
the 80s on the Disney Channel. We did pretty good for never having been to Disneyland.
Yay.
It was it's my reaction to this show every week. Yay. Anyway, thank you for trying. Hopefully you'll call in again, and we'll do another game where you hopefully know more about the subject matter.
All right. Thanks, Alex.
Sure.
All right. Looks
Sure.
like our.
He's so positive.
I know,
So
right?
much positivity.
I like
sure.
Alex.
Yeah.
He was
It
excited.
wasn't
at
even for a
first.
real prize anyway.
you'll kick yourself after you see. So yeah, I think that's it. I think
That's
we
everybody.
clarified.
That's Pyramid. All right, cool. Could we do one of these? I want to do this terrible one. This first one.
Oh.
Can we do this real quick?
Gosh, who you
Can we
want?
go through this? No, I just want to go through it. So one of them they picked, one category was 77 feet. Name the things associated with Sleeping Beauty Castle. There was fireworks, diamonds, glitter, pink, blue, coat of arms, and walkthrough. That's a lot of colors there.
I could have done that pretty easily.
Yeah, but I just think the color. Like, how would you try the top? The turrets are
What is
this color?
a color millennials like a lot?
Pink. There's no.
What do you
blue.
get when you mix red and white?
That would have been the logical.
America.
Yellow and green make.
All right.
Wow.
Psychotic. We'll do Psychotic Comics next hour. You wanna
Sure.
do next
Yeah,
hour?
yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a commercial break. When we come back, we'll tell you what's coming up on episode 100. We'll give you the big announcement about that show. We'll do Psychotic Comics, and then we have another edition of the Top 7 tonight, the Top 7 Disneyland attractions. So much more coming your way tonight.
Hi, I'm Thomas, and before I start a hard day of writing for the Parks blog, I need a hearty breakfast. That's when I reach for a bowl of my favorite cereal, Unscrupuloops.
Oh, can I have some?
Sure, Bob. You like it?
It's a little hard.
That's because Unscrupuloops is full of nonsensical toys.
Oh, good. Toys are my barrier to entry when it comes to breakfast cereal. No one buys Cheerios or Rice Krispies unless there's a toy in it.
That's right, Bob. No one will eat a world-renowned cereal when you get something crammed with recognizable things that are truly horrible.
Yeah, we should just throw all of our Cheerios away. It's garbage.
Well, Bob, the other people in the house might complain if we do that. They really like Cheerios.
Well, I guess I don't want everyone to hate me. We can keep the Cheerios, but I'm for damn sure throwing out all this Captain EO Crunch.
That's fine, Bob. We can get away with that one.
Okay, I'm gonna get some ketchup and some pickles, and I'm gonna finish this in my room.
Unscrupuloops is filled with bird and bear-shaped ode pieces, mixed with hard toys like Lego bricks and Tinker toys. And if someone in your house doesn't like the toys in the cereal, just take them out quietly and just tell them they were never there to begin with.
Is that Corliss guy dead yet?
Yes, Bob. It's better to just lie to him, too.
Unscrupuloops are part of a complete public relations disaster.
While you're enjoying the program you're listening to or watching right now, did you know that WDWNT.com has even more original programs you could be enjoying? Like
Dreamfinders is WDW News Today's podcast all about the creative culture surrounding Disney parks. Curious what it's like to read poetry about the Haunted Mansion? Well, we've talked to someone who has. How about what it takes to actually build a Disney castle? We've chatted with a guy who did just that. Authors, Imagineers, dancers, actors, photographers, filmmakers, and a whole lot more have all stopped by to chat about how Disney has inspired their artistic work. Dreamfinders. Episodes drop every other Tuesday on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or your favorite podcatcher.
4 panelists, 30 minutes, 1 week in Disney Parks news. This is Parks Center. On Parks Center, the panel and I cover the top 7...
7?
Yeah, 7 Disney park stories of the past week. From attraction news to transportation scandals to new food and merchandise, we'll cover it all in 30 minutes or less. You can watch us stream live every Wednesday night at 9 p.m. at WDWNtunes.com, watch episodes on demand at youtube.com/WDWNT, or subscribe to the audio version of the show on your favorite podcast app.
Ride Rehab is the podcast of ridiculously reskinning, refurbishing, and even removing Disney attractions, shows, areas, and parks. Can we cram Star Wars or Marvel into anything else? Just listen and find out. Visit riderehab.com to start listening now. That's riderehab.com.
WDWNT Nerd Alert is the podcast that encompasses all things Marvel and Star Wars in a fun and entertaining format. On each episode, we take a look at the latest news, provide reviews for the latest feature films, inform you about what is going on in the comic book world, and discuss and debate original topics pertaining to the worlds of Marvel, Star Wars, and beyond. Find us on various podcast applications by searching for WDWNT Nerd Alert.
The WDW News Today podcast is the one that started them all. Join us for comprehensive history segments, heated debates, epic countdowns, and more from the Disney theme parks around the globe. Just search for WDW News Today in whatever podcast service you choose.
Last but certainly not least is WDWNT's premiere show, WDW News Tonight. Join us every Thursday night at 9 p.m. for a live, weekly audio and video show that combines the latest headlines, comedy, trending vacation topics, call-in games, and in-depth discussions to bring Disney fans a one-of-a-kind 2-hour program covering the Disney parks. If you can't catch the show live, you can always watch it later on YouTube or listen to it through your desired podcast service.
Get more info on all of these shows and more online at WDWNT.com, the worldwide leader in Disney parks news and entertainment. This for 99 episodes, right? And I wasn't even on yet. We've only been doing this for 99 episodes, right? Jeez. Welcome back to WDW News Tonight. Thank you for joining us for the 99th time. It's been quite a journey on this show. We've been on the radio, we've been in this apartment, and we'll be in other places eventually. So let's talk about that, shall we?
Okay.
Number one, we are off next week. I'm going to be somewhere. I don't know where. I might be next week. This is a Tokyo Disney Sea mug, by the way. So I'll be somewhere next week. Can't imagine. And so we're off next week, but that also gives us time to do what we have to do. We have some things we have to do. Episode 100 is August 1st. It is a 3-hour special, August 1st from 8 to 11 p.m. So it's a Thursday, but we're on a little early. 3 hours to celebrate 100 episodes. On that episode, Cornac the Magnificent will return. WDWNT The Match Game will return. We will have another edition of the Top 7. It will be the Top 7 Worst Things to Ever Happen to Walt Disney World.
Oh, boy.
Yes. And there is an entirely new game. An entirely new game will debut
on episode 100 of the show. So, what else has happened in episode 100? I talked about this a little last week, that we were looking to do something big for episode 100 and sort of move the show into its next phase of its existence. And like I said, Nick and I started many years ago doing the radio show on what was I don't remember the station numbers anymore.
1520 WBZW.
1520 WBZW, and then of course News Tonight began. We were still on 1520. We also moved to what 660
AM 660
AM
The Answer.
660,
Yeah.
The Answer. And we were there for many years. And it was a great show, and things didn't really work out there, so we decided to stop the show. And you guys told us for months and months and months how much you loved the show and that you wanted it back. And it got to the point where we couldn't deny that anymore. And so we came back.
Weirdos.
And yeah. We came back. We're so nice to our viewers. We came back and we built this studio. We put a significant investment in it, and we built a studio here in my second bedroom. That has been an experience, and I've loved this. It's been really fun doing it here. But we've outgrown this space. I think it has its challenges being in this space, and I think a couple months ago, and it's actually been an interaction I've had with a couple times since. A couple months ago, we did the Pleasure Beach event, and I was talking to a couple of our attendees at Stage 89, and a couple of them live somewhat close to Orlando, and they said that every week they get together and watch the show together on Thursdays, a couple of friends. And I thought that was really cool, and I think we talked about it possibly there being a live one at some point, and they said, oh, we would drive for that. We would come to that. And I thought, like, oh, okay. Then some other WIGS members and other people have asked, are you ever going to do a live one with an audience? And it was like, oh, okay, there's that again. And so the combination of that and also wanting to kind of get my home back in order by having my second bedroom back. If you can't tell, I own a lot of memorabilia and things, and space would be good to have. Number two, this studio is really hot. This room wasn't made for this. So there's not good ventilation along with the very hot lighting we've put in here. And again, just very small. We, like, in order to get to the cameras and stuff, like, they got to come through here and push me around. And Nick knocks cameras over. Something happened before we came on tonight. Every week, Nick has to mess with, there's a computer. You can't see this. But there's a computer up past, I'm looking at this monitor up here, but past the camera in the back, there's a computer, a laptop, sitting on a shelf. That operates the phone system. And in order to start them for every show, Nick has to weave his way through all these. Can we cut to the wide shot, the studio shot? You can see this here. So there is this barrage of cameras and equipments,
like right there,
here in the middle. So yeah, where the boy's finger is.
Yeah.
Up there. There's a thing there, and so Nick had to weave his way through, and he always knocks stuff over. And so tonight,
always is an exaggeration. Well,
no, it's not. So tonight I was sitting there writing the script over there at my actual desk, which is also crammed in this room. And you can switch to regular camera now. We don't have to have that thing anymore. And I played the Mission Impossible music as Nick. Nick tried to playfully, like, pretend like he was dodging stuff, and actually in the process hit everything.
Everything.
It just reminded me of like an Austin Powers movie for a minute. So with all those things said, and I know I'm kind of dragging this out probably. Episode 100 will be the start of a new era for the show because we have purchased studio space in Orlando. We have an office space and studio space for WDWNT.com on International Drive. And starting on August 1st, the show will be produced from that new studio. And the fun thing about this new studio is it is 1,500 square feet. It's pretty big, and that allows us to have a studio audience. So every week, we're going to have you guys there, those of you who are either in town visiting, those of you who are local, want to come all the time. We're going to have a live, this is the worst idea ever, probably. But we're going to have a live studio audience every week for WDW News Tonight and a number of our other programs. And so this is already set up. So tonight, we are making tickets available. So you can go, Jason, where do they go to get tickets?
I don't have them on sale yet.
Great.
But I will by the time you're done talking.
All right, there you go. So what'll happen is there is a registration, a ticketing system, in order to just let us know how many people are coming, so we can prepare the studio every week for the crowd. The other thing that allows us to do is charge for ticketing, and we're charging for ticketing not for us. The ticket charge, it's $2, Jason, is that right?
$2.
$2, which is a $2 donation to Give Kids the World. So every time you purchase a ticket to come to a filming, recording of WDW News Tonight, those full $2 of your ticket goes to Give Kids the World. So it's a way of, we had to do a ticketing system just to make sure we could control the crowd size in the studio, just in case there's ever a week where who knows if we'll even have anyone show up, but in case too many people showed up on a given week, maybe around an event or something like that. And once we figured that out, we thought, well, we're already going to have like a thing for Give Kids the World at the studio, so why not just collect a little donation money for that great charity while we do that. But this is...
And there will, of course, be a VIP dessert area?
No, there won't. No.
Oh, Jesus.
But this is pretty exciting. We own a physical space, which is beyond anything I ever imagined. Another thing we're going to do is August 4th is our Back to the Future on the 50th anniversary of the Haunted Mansion. We will have a live studio audience for that as well. So those tickets will be up as well at some point. So the idea is all of those shows that we produce from here will be able to have a live studio audience, which I think will be pretty cool. I think it'll be fun. It's good to have like a meeting place for us in town, some office space for us as the company grows. It's been a while. We wanted to announce this at the 12-year show. We didn't have anything signed yet or anything. I didn't want to jinx it, but starting with episode 100, WDW News Tonight is from the new WDWNT studios on International Drive in Orlando, Florida. That's what we're doing.
All right, I got the link for you.
What is the link?
It's buytickets.at/WDWNT.
Count to 40.
That's bad. Don't we own WDWNewsTonight.com? Can we put it there?
We can. You didn't ask me for that, but yeah, we can.
All right. So if you want them right now, go to whatever Jason just said.
Buytickets.at/WDWNT.com. No, there's no .com.
No.
I didn't say .com.
Oh,
Buytickets.at.
Is it buy.tickets
Buy tickets.
or buy tickets dot?
No, it's buy
Nobody's
tickets.
gonna buy tickets.
Buy tickets. Buytickets.at
Slash
/WDWNT.
Okay.
This is classic, guys.
Yeah, it really is.
That's it.
It's like, oh, it'll be ready for show.
Did you make me a snipe for that?
Make you a what?
A snipe.
If you're watching this later, it'll be at WDWNewsTonight.com. So that'll make things easier. So yeah. So we're excited. It's our 100th episode. It's in a studio, live audience. Hopefully, many of you can make it August 1st. And obviously, we'll provide the address and everything for the studio and all those things. Jason actually just put or someone just put the link. It's actually a completely different link from what Jason said.
Well, that's where it goes to. It's just a redirect.
That might have been better. I don't know. Anyway. Episode,
right,
can we
that's
put up
fine
the
too.
graphic? The episode 100 graphic?
Yes, we can.
It's the weirdest URL ever.
Episode 100, August 1st, 8 to 11 p.m. Everything I told you. Cornac the Magnificent, the match game, the top 7 worst things to ever happen at Walt Disney World, and a brand new game and plenty of surprises as we celebrate 100 episodes of this disaster.
People are buying them already.
No, they're not.
Well, they're
We
saying
already
they're
sold a
going.
ticket.
Yeah.
Wow. It's probably my mom.
We already sold a ticket.
Mom, if
Nope,
you can do this
not
now,
your
we'd
mom.
really appreciate it.
I'm so proud of you. My mom is. Yeah.
Oh, that'd be great to have all our
It's just
moms
my
there.
parents, just
Our
mom.
first 3 tickets are all of our moms.
Yeah, you're doing. You have something on your hair. Come here, clean it. All right, Nick. Who brings us this disaster each and every week?
This disaster is brought to you by Never Grow Up Vacations. As an authorized Disney vacation planner, their travel professionals can help you make sure your Disney vacation is not a disaster. It's going to be perfect for your family and your budget. Their connections within the travel market allow them to exceed the competition, but it's their knowledgeable agents that keep clients happy. If you love Disney vacations as much as we do, then prepare to experience a once-in-a-lifetime trip with Never Grow Up Vacations. Visit them online at nevergrowupvacations.com.
There you go. So not only is the August 1st tickets available, our Back to the Future on the Haunted Mansion 50th anniversary for August 4th, also online as well. So
That'll
both
be
of those
cool.
are yeah, and every week, I don't know what the schedule will be like, but I assume every week, the week before, we'll put tickets up or something like that. I don't know yet. We'll figure all that out. But for now, just those two shows.
Oh, Alex figured the prize was a ticket to the first show.
No.
Yeah.
No, it's not that good. We will announce the new prize system on episode 100. It's a pretty cool thing. They've been working on it. That fell over. We've been working on it for weeks. It's a cool new thing. So just stay tuned. A lot of announcements on episode 100. All right, Nick, I think it's time to take a trip for the last time in our tiny second bedroom here on News Tonight. A trip to the wonderful world of Psychotic.
All right, don't yell at me.
While you're doing that, I'm going to buy my ticket to the show.
You lost the music?
I don't know where it is. Didn't lose it.
It's just not here.
This is good music.
It's busy buying its ticket to the show.
It's just not as pick me up. The music doesn't make the comments, Tom. The comments make the comments.
No, I think the music's a big part of it.
So let's go into the first comment. Haunted Mansion queue awning being replaced during the hottest, rainiest time of the year. Ferg wrote in, another brilliant decision by a suit sitting in their air-conditioned office. Mouse Fan wrote, they apparently like to do the hottest projects in the hottest time of the year, walking across the desert oasis that is the main parking lot through the tunnel and all the way to the end of security stands in 100-degree heat and thunderstorms isn't pleasant either.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah. Limited time only offerings ending soon. The person's name that they used was, I'd consider it long-standing, though, is their name. He said, yeah, as Jason said, the article should actually just be a headline. Oh, so apparently people were arguing about clickbait. They were calling this clickbait.
Yeah.
Because the article, the title, apparently in their eyes, didn't match up to what the article was written about.
But it did.
Well, yes. So this person was actually standing up for you.
Yeah, because the person before was mad that we put Illuminations in as ending September.
Well, did you do that, or was that like
I didn't write this piece, but it says long standing is in the title.
Right.
So several short term. What is the title again?
Multiple limited time offerings, multiple limited time only offerings ending soon. And Illuminations was not in the
in the opening
this
paragraph.
Person's name was
in the opening paragraph it says it.
Yeah. Anyway, this person was defending you. If you put more information in the article than given in the headline, it's not clickbait. Did the article
opposite?
Right. Did the article give the information promised in the headline? Yup. And they went on to say, you anti-Tom trolls need to get a life, need to get new catchphrase, and just really need to stop coming to this site. So there you go.
That's my favorite part, is that people who dislike us read
They keep coming
I don't
over and over
because if
again.
I don't like something, I just stop watching or
Do ya?
reading it. Like that's what I do.
Well, there's so much content. Yeah, it's like that's not worth your time. Unless you get your fun off of going on there and arguing with
or
people.
you actually secretly like the site.
Some people do. The article this one's funny because this got me too. Honestly, like I felt this person's pain. The title of the article is New Attractions, Fantasyland, and Pixar Windbreakers arrive at Disneyland Resort. So Barbara replied, there's no mention of new attractions in this article, so why is it in the title? It got me too. I was like, I thought the same thing.
They're new attractions, Windbreakers.
Because I clicked on it, I was like, oh, what new attractions? And I was like, why would attractions be in the same article as one? But yes, it's an attraction Windbreaker.
They're new attractions.
It's a misleading title, though.
No, it's not.
It's a misleading
There's
title.
Jungle Cruise and Space Mountain Windbreakers.
It's a misleading title.
Jessica, they're berating you.
New attractions, Fantasyland and Pixar Windbreaker. Yeah, I don't know. It's a weird title. Sorry, Jessica.
These aren't even my titles I'm fighting for.
Fooled me too. This one's weird. Disney Skyliner officially opening on September 29th at Walt Disney World. Somebody wrote in talking about the transportation in various cities. Sean wrote in saying, last time I looked, London and Caracas were not ski areas, and yet they have gondolas for transportation. So WDW Memories really defended Caracas, apparently. They said they wrote many points about Caracas, saying it's a mountainous area perfect for a gondola system. Caracas has year-long lower temps than Walt Disney World. Caracas has terrible and dangerous roads. And Caracas is, I don't even know if I'm saying that right. Caracas?
Sounds right.
Sounds right. Is in financial ruins. And then they went on to say, so the question is a gondola system the best $100 billion investment for a company that is that should be more concerned with the plight of people in Caracas. And I don't understand why Disney should be concerned with the plight of people in Caracas.
They're certainly not. They certainly don't care about the plight of people in their parks.
In their own parks, right? So
you want them to care about foreign countries?
Yeah, well. How about National Geographic joins the 2019 D23 Expo lineup? Keith wrote in, I can't believe there's no mention of panels or seminars about the plastic straw and animal cracker crisis. When will they stop ignoring these horrors? The photo report for Epcot, Paula wrote in, why should I pay $130 a day for Epcot to look at construction?
Good point.
Fair, right? And then this one. This is unprecedented. I think this is unprecedented. Have we ever read a Psychotic comment about someone else's article?
No, but I sent you this because it was the most amazing thing, and we had to talk about it.
So this is on Josh's site, EasyWDW.
On the Twitter.
Well, right? Yes, but he wrote. Didn't he write an article related to it? Or yeah. So he wrote on Twitter, Tony's Town Square restaurant review. There are probably bigger mistakes you can make in life, but I'm not sure how many of those you'll live to talk about. Probably don't read this before lunch. And now we always rag on Tony's.
Because it's bad.
Yes.
But at Rita's Adventures replied to this tweet saying, never had a problem at Tony's, and we have been 8 there each of our 55 trips. I have found things I like and mixed it up. And they always accommodate my request, like steak Alfredo. To each his own when it comes to food, so I put little stock into others' opinions on food.
Steak Alfredo.
Steak Alfredo. They personally requested that.
Nick, you're a bit of a chef.
A bit of a chef.
Have you ever heard of steak Alfredo?
I actually have not, but...
So let me state something here.
Okay.
I am not a food connoisseur.
Yes.
Maybe. I'm not a chef, for sure.
Not a chef, no.
But I think I've had a decent amount of food in my life, different dishes. Number one thing you learn about steak, even as not a chef, someone who's only eaten at theme park restaurants, you learn that the steak usually should speak for itself. The quality of a steak is it shouldn't be A1 or any of these things. Never mind a sauce not intended for steak, a cream-based pasta sauce, Alfredo sauce. So number one, that tells you that steak is not good. At Tony's. So you're fighting that you love Tony's because they're willing to make you a steak covered in sauce that makes the steak palatable.
Yes, that's how it goes.
I just wanted to clarify that. Steak Alfredo.
Steak Alfredo.
I think the challenge now for the next Cooking with Nick is to figure out how to make steak Alfredo.
I could do that.
Yeah. I want to know if it can be done successfully. Like, could it be a good thing?
I think it can. You can do beef with a cream Alfredo sauce, though. It would work. But
you should get the Tony's Alfredo sauce recipe.
Oh, yeah. I'm picturing just a big steak on a plate of, like, fettuccine with, like, Alfredo sauce drizzled over it.
Yeah, I think chicken works better. But
No, it definitely works better.
I don't know. It's weird. Steak
But the cool thing to pull out of this, though, is that Tony's will accommodate you.
Yeah. People in the chat should let us know if they've ever in their life heard of or had steak Alfredo.
I like to know that Tony's accommodates people like this. They'll mix and match from their menu. It's Tony's secret menu.
They don't have anything to lose.
No, they have nothing to lose. They'll even make you cheese bread from the Skipper canteen.
No, they won't.
They'll put cheese on bread. They'll sprinkle some Parmesan on their
throw it
rolls.
in the microwave and see what happens. Is that all the Psychotic comment?
Oh, that's it.
Okay, great. Steak Alfredo.
It's brought to you by the Wigs, though. Did you know that?
No, I didn't.
The Inner Globe Society. Support the Inner Globe Society. Well, WDWNT Inner Globe Society.
Yeah, thank you. Okay.
Well, yeah, people know it's WDWNT.
All right, let's put up that same graphic we were supposed to change 6 months ago.
You can see the next line is support WDWNT and get early and exclusive access to content you just can't find anywhere else, including exclusive WDW News Tonight post shows where we will be debuting or unveiling, let's say, what the mystery
we are.
Items are, things,
are we?
nondescript things you'll be receiving.
Did we clear
after
this
you
with Jason?
Yes, we cleared it with Jason.
We are, yeah. We're gonna tell the Wigs about this mystery thing.
So Wigs members, it'll be a mystery no more on the post show tonight.
And everybody else will learn on show 100. Don't worry.
Where the Wigs can be really mean and tell everybody.
Yeah. So we have that post show each and every week. That starts at just $2 at that level a month. So for more information, go to patreon.com/WDWNT or patreon.at/wigs/W. No, I'm just kidding. Or visit WDWNT.com and click the Patreon link. Join the Wigs and help make WDWNT happen through Patreon.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Dick. Somebody said they've heard of steak Alfredo.
Can I just say something?
Courtney said steak Alfredo.
Somebody said he's had his Alfredo with tuna in the chat.
Fish Alfredo? Okay.
Isn't that like tuna casserole, basically?
No.
Yeah, you know what? I've had that before. I don't know if
Tuna still sounds more normal than
Tuna
steak
stroganoff.
Alfredo. I don't
Than steak,
know.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, the only kind of like creamy, milky thing you should put on steak is like blue cheese, maybe.
I can't with you people.
I mean, that's a common thing. Not that you should, but that's a common thing.
Okay. Fine.
Yeah.
Let's take a commercial break. And we'll think about steak Alfredo some more. And when we come back, we're going to do the top 7 Disneyland attractions celebrating 64 years of Disneyland when we come back.
Coming soon to the Disney Plus streaming service. It's Mouse Tank. Mouse Tank is the first ever Disney Parks reality show. Watch as Disney cast members pitch their best ideas for the parks to Disney CEO Bob Iger and Chairman of Parks, Resorts, and Consumer Experience Bob Chapek. First up in the Mouse Tank, a man whose earring is the only thing bigger than his imagination.
Hello, I'm Joe Rohde. I've been an Imagineer for almost 40 years, and I'm asking for $25 million to fix the zebra glen on Kilimanjaro safaris so the zebras can actually live in it, not the scimitar horned oryx that hides by the gate.
Oryx, isn't that, that's a type of toothbrush, right?
The scimitar oryx, or scimitar horned oryx, Oryx dama, as they say scientifically, also known as the Sahara oryx, is a species of oryx once widespread across North Africa, which went extinct in...
I just don't see the value. I'm out.
I was out since he asked for money to be spent on a theme park.
I don't know. This isn't tied to an IP. It's some safari truck ride that's maybe themed to Indonesia or something.
It's Africa, and, you're using themed incorrectly. If you had just read my Instagram.
Do you have anything else, Joe?
Well, yes, there is this Yeti that,
Next!
Picture this. Big, moving Yeti. So...
Next!
Up next, a cast member bringing a revolutionary idea to our hungry mice.
Hello, and your name is?
Hi, I'm Jenny, and I work over at Blizzard Beach. Our rides, even with extensive refurbishments, still have a lot of downtime. I'm asking for $200 million to completely refurbish our beloved water park to bring it up to date, like the volcano one down the street.
What's a Buzzard Beach? Is that that's a Zootopia thing?
It's a water park you own in Orlando. Attendance is good, but we see a lot of guest complaints about the attractions being down and not having the latest technology, and...
Frozen.
What?
I can see it now. Anna and Elsa in bikinis. Olaf, I'll melt for you patty melts. Oh, and Snowgy cupcakes.
The opportunity for Frozen-themed cupcakes at a water park is something we can't pass up. I just replaced half of WDI with bakers.
So, am I getting my project funded, or...
Oh no, you're fired. We came up with this idea.
For every failure, now and then, someone walks into the mouse tank knowing exactly what the Bobs want.
Hi, I'm Alan. I'm a tour guide, and I think that we could do a lot more to fleece our wealthier guests. I'm pitching a one-day tour that is basically no different than a VIP tour, but instead of $400 an hour, we charge $12,000 for a whole day.
So you're saying we can just repackage what we already do, but charge a lot more money for it?
Exactly.
God, I love this kid.
Sold. We need more cast members like you, Alan.
Can I get paid a living wage?
No, but you're the new head of WDI.
Mouse Tank, coming to Disney Plus. The plus stands for your money.
The front panel will close automatically. Please remain seated at all times.
The incorrect Disney Parks fact of the week: Tesla will partner with Disney to make electric-powered pirate ships in Peter Pan's place. Hopefully a bunch of news outlets pick this up and then call Disney and find out it's fake after they've collected their clicks on it. So it's great. Anyway, remember, we're the bad guys. All right. Our in-depth discussion this week is another edition of the Top 7.
Seven?
Yeah, 7. This is a segment where we go around. Each panelist gets to pick what they think is the best or worst or whatever the category calls for, and we put that one into a ranking. And then, so the top 7 will be the 7 things that our panelists pick out, and then we all have to come together and figure out a ranking of those 7 items. That's how the segment works. Joining us for the segment, obviously, there's me and Nick and Cameron. We also have Jason Divendal from Pleasure Island.
Hey, howdy, hey.
Is it raining?
Whoa.
Live.
Is it raining?
Live at Pleasure Island. It is raining here, yep.
Oh, is that what we're hearing?
Yeah, it's pouring.
Yes.
Isn't it raining at your house?
Matter of fact, it's pouring. You can't hear it on the microphone. You have your mic turned towards the window.
You might as well just go outside.
Turn the mic.
I am outside. What mic?
The mic in front of you, isn't it pointing the wrong way?
No, it's an
it's right
omnidirectional.
It's omnidirectional. Well, there's settings on the back. I don't know. Anyway.
It's right in front of me.
Let's cut to whoever's like
can hear me,
crunching
right?
a bottle.
I don't know who's crunching.
Let's cut to whoever's crunching a bottle.
Who's crunching the bottle? Expose yourself.
That's
I didn't do
Jessica.
I'm not crunching.
Guys, we have bought a studio. You can't do this anymore.
I'm not crunching.
We're trying to be
I have
professional.
nothing to crunch.
Okay.
Nothing
It's
to
Jessica
crunch.
Figueroa who wrote all those titles that Nick hates.
Hi, everyone
Just
hates
that,
me.
just that one, Jess. It was really misleading. I thought I was clicking on an article to read about new attractions.
Everyone's a critic.
And there was
Gordo
no
and
new
I are going to be out on the street, and it's all your fault.
Wow. Anyway, you could always live in the studio. Ashley Jazz.
Actually, she can't. That violates the lease.
Hi.
And who else? There's somebody. Rob?
Rob.
Rob there? There's
Rob's there.
Rob.
Hey.
This isn't Park.
Hey, it's raining here too. It's raining.
Whoa. Thank you, Rob.
Turn down, Rob.
Anyway,
Justice.
if you enjoyed that Disneyland sale image from earlier, that's because Rob made it.
Yep.
All right. So we're doing top 7 Disneyland attractions.
7.
This could be 7. This could be anything at the Disneyland Resort. So if it's a California Adventure, it's also up for grabs. We're going to go panelist by panelist. You tell us what your pick is. Obviously, I've pre-screened all these, so there is no overlap. Some of you had to pick your second favorite because of that. But
Gotta be quicker.
let's start. We'll start with the ladies. Ashley, why don't you lead us off?
Sure. My favorite was actually Alice in Wonderland. The Dark Ride is my absolute top pick. I think it is a classic dark ride attraction. I love the little land that goes all around it. Mad Tea Party, I also very, very much love, and it's a shame that Florida can't have the same ambiance and atmosphere with the lanterns and everything that Disneyland does because of the weather. But yeah, I can't say enough good things about it. I think it's a great, great dark ride. And I don't think it gets quite as much love as it does, especially having the second story where you get the views of Fantasyland. And I think the story works really well as a dark ride because it's a kind of confusing story and doesn't need to make a whole lot of sense. So the switching of scenes makes it easy to keep up with.
Who is
yeah,
wrestling their microphone?
It's big.
Jessica.
It's Jessica.
Thank you. Go ahead, Ashley. I'm sorry.
But yeah, that for all of those reasons and many, many more, and just a true deep love of Alice in Wonderland, the original, not Tim Burton. That is why it is my top attraction at Disneyland.
Okay. Jessica, if you're done crunching on your microphone.
Can I turn on my mic now?
Yeah, now you can.
I'm sorry. I was getting some zooms to display my answer.
Wow.
Makes sense.
Nick makes sense.
I didn't know, mind you, I didn't know you could pick Disney California adventure stuff. I think
Would your answer have changed?
Yeah, I thought it was just Disney.
Don't worry, whatever you're gonna pick at DCA is probably already gone, so don't worry about it.
Oh.
Incredicos?
Well.
So you stop it. You stop it. You didn't even pick that, you jerk.
I
didn't know
really
DCA was a
Incredicoaster.
choice.
So I've only been to Disneyland once, and they still haven't gotten to do everything. But in the time I was there, there was one ride that I just wanted to keep going on over and over, and it's the one ride where you get to die, and it's
Matterhorn.
Oh, Mr. Toad. Mr.
It's
Toad, you gotta
Mr.
write it out.
Toad.
Mister, Mr. Toad.
No, that
Ben
bothered
is
me
so
just knowing
formal.
that existed. Yeah, the big takeaway from Disneyland is that it had so many cute dark rides, and I love them all, honestly. It was kind of hard picking one, but Mr. Toad definitely is pretty out there. I love the facade. I love the interior. I love the storyline. I like that it's always been there, even though this is like the 1980s version of it, like the incarnation of it. But yeah, it's wild, it's wacky. It's just, there's so many things going on, despite it just being a dark ride. But yeah, I really like it.
Dark ride.
No, but it's not.
Why do we always feel the need to downgrade dark rides? Why do we have to feel bad about putting
I
dark rides on
don't.
this
I
list?
picked a dark ride too.
I agree. I'm saying that, but she
I
said
too
just
have
a
picked
dark
a
ride. I think the
'cause a lot of
company
people-
undervalues dark rides. I think people love them.
Well, that's true.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people, the company, other people, like, they don't even go on these rides. They're like, oh, whatever, it's a dark ride. Like, I don't need to go on that or see it. And they ended up being my all-time favorites, all of them. But Mr. Toad was very special to me. I vaguely recall it from, like, Walt Disney World, but I don't think I ever actually went on it. So this was kind of like a culminating moment for me. I'd always seen it. I'd never got to ride it. And then I finally got to ride it in Disneyland. So everything made sense. Yeah. I also like the scene where you're just engulfed in flames. Is that a thing?
Or you go to hell.
It is a thing. I do enjoy that too.
There's weird red figures.
It's a thing. I like pretending I can drive on it. I should stop.
Wow. I like pretending I can drive on it.
Just like the Speedway.
Anyway,
Sponsored by Tesla.
thank you, Jessica. Let's go with Rob. Rob, our guest tonight. Rob, what are you picking?
Well, I didn't have time to prepare zooms. But
There's
as
some
you can see
behind
behind
you,
me,
though,
yeah, as you can see behind me with all the Star Wars stuff I have, clearly I chose the Nightmare Before Christmas overlay, the Haunted Mansion Holiday. You know what? The very first time I took the family to, the very first time I took the family, I planned it during a time when that would be there. I love that movie. I went into it, and I think it's genius. I think the way that they've transformed that, for 4 months out of the year, to be a completely different attraction. To me, it's magical. I love that attraction, and I wished for a little bit that we would have it in Florida. And then I thought, you know what? It's super special. I'm kind of glad that it's where it is, and I get to visit it when I get to. So for me, Haunted Mansion Holiday all the way. I like their Haunted Mansion, so it's neat to sometimes go back and see the original Haunted Mansion. But just from riding through and smelling the gingerbread house that they have in the main ballroom scene, all the things they did in the graveyard scene, the animatronic Jack Skellington that's there just for a limited time. It's like you said about Batuu, they spared no expense. They really went in and made an amazing overlay. And then I look at stuff like the Jingle Cruise and I go, is that really an overlay, or is that just people dropped some presents and told a few jokes? It blows me away every time I see it. And when I get to go and do it, I do it like 3, 4, 5 times, and I'm humming the music the rest of the time. So that's the one for me.
All right. Who's up? Jason?
Okay. So I picked Matterhorn.
Oh, there you go, Nick.
Reasons.
Someone. It's finally.
One where you go to hell?
About time.
The one where you go in the water? Go through the water?
You go to hell and in the water, which seems contradictory because don't you think the water would put out the fire in hell? But anyway, not only do you go to hell and in the water, but it's the first tubular steel coaster in the world. And also, actually, my favorite part of this is a memory from 2005. 2010. 2010. I had my daughters with me in Disneyland. Is that all I get?
No, I'm joking. It's a joke. Because you're bad with numbers. Go ahead, 2010.
I am bad with numbers. In 2010, I had my daughters with me in Disneyland, and the youngest one was 2.5 years old. And she loved roller coasters. And back then, the Matterhorn had the tandem seating, and the height requirement was 32 inches. You think about 32-inch height requirement for a roller coaster, and it's absurd.
You had to be with an adult, right? That was the way that worked?
You had to be with an adult. Yeah. Sure. But that meant I could take my 2-year-old on the Matterhorn, which blew my mind. But I took her on, and she loved it, and I think that sparked her love of roller coasters because now she'll go on almost anything. She's a little hesitant on the ones that go upside down, but she usually does them anyway. So that's a really special memory for me. And I think Matterhorn's a great ride. I think it's one of the rides that's withstood the test of time in Disneyland. Because it's a great coaster to begin with. It was put together amazingly well. They've kept it up amazingly well. Other than now the cars make tall people like me pain through the whole ride because of my knees hitting the seat in front of me. It's still a great ride, and I love it. So that was my pick.
Okay. My favorite Matterhorn memory involves Jason, but it was that time we shoved Adam in with him in a tandem seat. But that's another story for another day. Cameron, why don't you go ahead?
I chose Indiana Jones Adventure for both sentimental reasons and because I truly do think it is the best ride at Disneyland. As we all know, it's the same track as Dinosaur. I think
first, though.
It came first. I think the storyline for Indiana Jones is maybe not as strong as Dinosaurs is, but I think it's more fun. The adventure story. The scenes are fun to experience each time, but the fire, you have to see the fire. The big ball scene at the end is
Boulder.
The boulder,
big balls.
Wow.
The big
The
balls.
part where you go to hell is a lot of
Stop
fun.
making it- I like the part where you go underwater, like that part.
The part you go to hell.
Yeah, each scene is a lot
my
of fun to
favorite
experience. For a lot of sentimental reasons, Indiana Jones is means more to me than even Star Wars does. The queue is incredibly themed. I'm a big queue guy. Even the part I've been thinking about this a lot for some weird reason, but the part where like if the ride gets backed up and you have to stop for a minute, the fact that the car is still running is like so cool to me. You know how they like you're stopped and the car is still running and then it fires back up when you go. Like all those small details. And recently, our last trip to Disneyland, we got like one of the cast members stopped and offered like a private tour of the queue to us, which was really special.
There was no one in the park. Yeah.
That day, Galaxy's Edge opening day.
Opening day, that's
Yeah.
right. The only people like, would you like a private tour?
Yeah,
Yes.
they hired too many cast members. But it was really special to us, and it made me love the ride even more. I think just overall, it's thrilling, but not too thrilling if you have younger kids. It's something that everybody I think can do.
It's one of the rides my mother will go on.
Yeah.
I like the part where Han Solo shows up.
Well,
That
I know you're
too.
not talking about Galaxy's Edge.
So for a lot of reasons, it's almost my ideal ride.
If I can jump in as Tokyo Tom for a minute.
Sure, Tokyo Tom, go ahead.
That was my
Kawaii.
favorite ride. That was my favorite ride, and then I rode the Tokyo one, and I was like, oh no, I've lived another lie.
Wow.
Tokyo one.
Don't tell me that.
It improves all the little things you go on Indy, and you're like, oh, it's a fantastic ride, but I would have changed that and that. They changed it in Tokyo, and it's amazing. Anyway, move on. Nick, go ahead.
For me, it is Pirates of the Caribbean.
The original.
Yes. So my first trip to Disneyland was, I guess, about 10 years ago now. And I had no idea. I'd been living with Pirates of the Caribbean at Disney World for my whole life and always loved it. It was the, kind of the one I always remembered on my trips. And then when I went out to California, my mind was blown. People told me it was different, but I was like, how different can it be? I mean, it is a masterpiece. It really is. And I remember going on it and then literally getting back in line and just going like 5 or 6 times in a row and just being in awe of it. It's one of those attractions that like there's a few attractions when I first go on them. I just have this like jaw-dropping like experience. And I mean, modern day, that was like, Racers and Flight of Passage.
There's only a handful, I think, for everybody.
There is. Yeah. And there really hasn't been that many modern attractions that do that to me. And so when to go on an attraction like that and I have that experience, and it's like just to know like that attraction was built decades before this, and for them to give an experience like that that stands the test of time and that is so unique to that park, and I just you haven't experienced Pirates until you go on the California version, and so that's why it's there. It's just that feeling of classic Disneyland right there in that building.
That was another one of those living a lie moments.
Yeah.
Where like we lived with you the same way.
Yep.
We lived with that Pirates our whole lives. And then you go to California, you're like, oh,
wow,
ours is terrible.
Yeah.
And then you go to Tokyo and you go, oh, ours is terrible. And then you go to Paris and you go, oh, ours is really terrible.
Wow.
Then you go to Shanghai.
Then you go to Shanghai, it doesn't work. You're like, this is garbage.
Pirates is a revolution.
Overrated. Anyway. Yeah, but the Florida Pirates is absolutely the worst one. There's a lot of reasons and story to that, but
yeah,
we won't get into that now. I picked, and this is going to shock people, Radiator Springs Racers. I think in the modern era, there are so few true, like, big jaw-dropping e-tickets. They have built rides in mountains before. They never built a ride in a mountain range. And so, like, Galaxy's Edge has this big mountain range, but you know what? It doesn't faze me. because it's been done already. And I just think the Cadillac range is the most beautiful thing. And the fact that there's a ride that goes all through that race portion is so, on its own, is its own thing, is so pretty. Especially at night, you go around the butte, and it goes around the, just weaves through all this stuff, and the views just from down there looking straight up at the Cadillac range, and it's unbelievable. Never mind, the animatronics inside are fantastic. I love those figures, like backwards driving Mater, and Luigi. I love Luigi with the tires that show sort of the movement and the emotion. They're really cool figures. They really found the right way to bring those characters to life. The scenes inside are really fun. It's very cute. The race portion is fantastic. It makes Test Track look like the biggest hunk of junk that's ever been built. It's a perfect ride. It saved that park. It changed the face of that park forever in a way that Galaxy's Edge won't do to Disneyland, I think, honestly. It is a defining attraction of that entire park. And I think, again, like Nick said, Pirates was one of those attractions. The first time you just mouth open, like, how did that happen? Racers was one of those. Insanely detailed, beautiful queue. Just everything about it is so special. It's one of the best, even having now seen all the parks, still one of the absolute best, probably in my top 5, if not top 3 worldwide. Can hang in there with the best of them from anywhere. But yeah. Okay, so now we have our 7, and we have to now all fight with each other to rank them.
Oh, goody.
All right, so what do we think is the worst thing on this list?
Indiana Jones.
No.
Mr. Toad.
You
No.
hated, that's
Goodbye.
right, you hated Indiana Jones, didn't you?
I
You didn't
did.
like
There's
it?
Why?
You also
Oh my
hate every
God.
dinner we ever had together. So you can leave.
No, they all sucked.
It's true.
No, I don't know. Indy felt junky. Like everything,
No.
like the car kept breaking down. Like, yeah, I got a lot of the whole.
I think we had a
car
bad
song
ride
thing.
on it, though, because I don't think the other 6 people in this conversation are going to go with you on this.
No.
I
No,
know.
but-
I
Yeah,
just,
see,
I guess
no,
I
so
did
it-
just have
Sorry,
a-
Justin. No.
I think Toad.
I'll take it.
Toad.
I love Toad, but it's flats. I mean, it's it's charming, and I don't have a problem with it being in a conversation because I think it's a charming, wonderful opening day thing. But I think on this list, I think it's got to be number 7.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
As
fine.
much as I
I'll
hate to
take it.
say it, yeah.
Jessica's
Take
like,
that, Jessica.
Mr.
Now who's rides in
I'm
last
gonna write
place?
out Mr. Toad.
I came
Oh,
knowing it was gonna rank low. That was fine. It honestly, my other pick, thinking it was just Disneyland, my other pick was like the canoes.
I mean, they're special.
I always say, like, you know how I always joke around about like releasing like 1 serotonin. I release at least 5 on that canoe ride.
That's
Everything was,
actually
like,
just sweat.
I was gonna say,
That's
was that all
called
the actual
manual.
exercise
It's
that
called
you got?
manual labor. It's what other
the-
people do.
It's the only attraction that's like only powered by people. That's just so cool.
Oh,
And
you
then-
know what people attraction I like? I like the person mover. That's my favorite. Show that we have the poster
Yeah,
there.
that was-
The Tom Corliss person mover. There I am, and nobody else.
Available now on TeePublic.
Can tell you now. We went to go ride the people mover once. He's like, you're gonna have to wait for the next one. I ride alone. I'm a loner, Dottie. A
Wow.
rebel.
Wow.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. You also wanted to pick the Main Street Cinema, and I had to stop you. So we won't get into that. You like some oddballs. Number 6.
I like.
Alice in Wonderland.
Alice.
No, I think Matterhorn.
No.
Alice is the king of the dark rides, I think. There's
I'll
something
take
special.
I would agree
about
with
it.
that. I think it
Well, of
doesn't get
course
the
you'd
love it
agree with
deserves
that.
because of Pan. I really do. I think Pan overshadows it, but it's better
Pan's
than Pan.
overrated.
Pan's overrated.
That's what I'm saying.
Other than the
Yeah,
Shanghai
but
one,
people
which
always
is amazing.
I like
Right,
Pinocchio
but people always
over there.
rave about Peter Pan.
You know,
And
I love
Alice
Peter
is
Pan.
10
It's part of
times
my
better.
childhood, but Alice is a masterpiece, I think.
Alice
you
is
can't get Alice
fantastic.
anywhere.
Sorry,
That's
put it
right.
on
Still
It's
don't think
only
it's
at
as good as
Disneyland.
Matterhorn.
So what are we talking? How many people think Matterhorn should be number 6? I do. That's one.
Me.
I'll
Two.
take it. Yeah.
3. Okay. So who thinks that Alice should be number 6?
Right here.
The 2 boys.
Me.
Rob?
I would
Them boys.
put it as number 6. Or I'd
What?
offer another one.
Rob!
What did he
I'd offer
say? Oh, he
another
put
one.
Alice number 6? That's it.
Yeah,
that does
but-
it. I mean, that's it.
But I'd offer another one, if I could fight it, would be Pirates. And not because I don't love Pirates, because it's great, but it's not unique to Disneyland like all these other attractions are. So I think it needs to be closer to the bottom.
Yeah, but
Doesn't
No,
necessarily
it's
mean-
it's unique in its own way.
It is the
It's unique
original. I mean,
amongst
it's the
the pirates.
original pirate.
It's the original. You've got a
It
point, Rob. I
is,
do
but
agree
it's
with your point, but it's the original. That's my
Okay.
I'm torn.
All right, number 5. We put Matterhorn at 5?
Yeah.
Or
Yes,
Pirates.
if it can't be 6, then it
I'm
has
not,
to be
no,
5.
I'm not putting Pirates at 5. Get out of here.
Indie
That's
at
fine.
5.
Put Matterhorn at 5.
Get out of here with
Leave.
your indie.
You're
So wait, how many people are Matterhorn at 5?
me.
2.
I
Yep.
really liked Matterhorn.
Ashley.
Wait, it's
Yep.
Yeah, I don't
Matterhorn at
like
5.
it at 5, but I'm okay with that.
Okay.
No, I'm in.
All right, Matterhorn 5.
Bye.
Rob, I can't believe you let it beat Alice.
Well,
You're the tiebreaker.
I was
Rob.
pushing.
You don't look good tonight.
All right, what about
You
number
let me down, Rob.
Wow. What's
So
number
much
4?
shade.
Can we keep this
much
going,
shade.
folks? What's number 4?
Sorry.
Is Alice
That I
still-
think.
I can't remember what.
Alice is good. Here.
What,
What?
You got,
Yeah. What do we
you
have?
got
left
Mansion,
again?
Racers, Jones, or Pirates?
Just drop
Oh.
Jones
I'd say-
already.
Pirates.
No!
I'd say Mansion.
Pirates.
Mansion.
Pirates or
That's my
Mansion?
vote.
Mansion.
No,
My
see,
vote's
again,
Mansion.
I'm on that one. I get it. The Pirates is the original. I love going on it. We went the last time we were there. But the thing that with Haunted Mansion Holiday is it's special to. I mean, obviously there was one in Tokyo, but not all of us
It's
get
not
to go to
even
Tokyo. every
close.
day.
I will say
So-
that's one where Disneyland beats Tokyo for sure.
Cool.
It's not as
Yeah, but I mean, everything about it from the outside to the inside is well thought out and put together, and it's very special to Disneyland. And so, as much as I love that Pirates, I don't think it's as magical to that experience and as special. And I think I would argue for Pirates to be number 4.
I agree.
Yep.
No,
It's a strong case.
I want Mansion 4. So we're 3-1. Nick?
Mansion 4.
Okay, 3 to 3.
Come
to
on,
2.
Nick.
Jason, what
I'm
what
okay
do you
with-
think? Or
Jason.
Jesse?
He was so defeated.
I'd put Mansion.
So
I'd put
annoying.
Mansion.
Jason says Mansion.
It's
Jess,
so
what do you
hard.
I'm okay with Mansion at 4.
Yeah.
Let me back up a second. Jessica, have you ever been on the Haunted Mansion Holiday?
No.
Okay,
Have
then.
you? But you
Literally.
the bus anyway.
But-
Okay.
I already wrote it down. It's too late.
Isn't that a prerequisite for this?
Come on.
No
Been
back-
to
Have you
Disneyland
been
the
on it,
season.
Cameron?
I've been on it.
Oh, okay.
Many times.
Oh, okay.
I'm a
Talk to your
deluxe.
manager,
I have a
please.
deluxe. I have a deluxe pass. Remember, I'm blocked out.
Oh wow. All right. All right. For
Right,
number
and you're gonna say, I wish I had picked the Mansion.
for number 3, what do people think for number 3?
Gotta be Pirates.
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 No.
I would say Indiana, honestly.
I like
No,
Indy for 3.
All right, good. Okay,
No.
support there,
Yeah.
then I'm going with it.
No, it's
Nick
strong.
and I are with Team
No.
Indy at number 3.
Good.
Who else?
It's
Jessica's on Team
Me.
Indy.
All right. I need one more.
Jason.
don't do it, Jason.
Oh wow.
Pirates. Ashley.
Pirates.
No,
Pirates.
Pirates.
Rob.
Rob.
Pirates.
There it is. Bye.
Wow. All
You're
right,
drowning.
Pirates.
Arc.
You're drowning.
Did you guys not have that revelation growing up?
All right,
All right,
Racers
so let's
versus
just
Indy.
decide number 1. Racers.
Racers.
Yeah, Indy's 2. Racers
Yeah.
gotta be 1.
Oh, there's
As
no
much as I
argument.
want.
No
one's even-
argument.
no one's even gonna fight for Indy against Racers.
I
It's
mean, I
over?
could
No,
go
you
either
wouldn't.
way.
No.
I could. I think.
Yeah,
I
no.
could go either way.
I'm just gonna write it down.
kind of
There
a
you
toss
go.
up from me.
No, I think that the Racers attraction is a complete attraction, and like Tom said, it's very unique and special. And the music as you go through is amazing. The characters are amazing. Aside from Doc being there, it could exist in story anytime in the Cars universe.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know how you go number 1 on that one.
Yeah. I agree.
I think it is one of the best ways they've ever brought a movie to life. I think that
Yeah.
land is just so special. Even still, I still think it's better than Galaxy's Edge. People can fight me on it. I don't care. We'll see when Rise opens, but as it stands now, I think Cars Land's better than Galaxy's Edge. I don't think you can make a connection to Galaxy's Edge. I think it's real hard.
Well, plus there'll be 2 Galaxy's Edges there, so I mean, again, it'll be
that's
something
true,
that's
but I
kind
don't
of
really want to hold that against it. But I don't know. The more time I've spent in Galaxy's Edge, the more disconnected from it I've felt. I don't know. All right, so let's recap. Number 7 is Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. Number 6, Alice in Wonderland. Number 5, The Matterhorn. Number 4, Haunted Mansion Holiday. Number 3, Pirates of the Caribbean. Number 2, The Indiana Jones Adventure. And number 1, the top attraction at Disneyland Resort, Radiator Springs Racer.
Yeah.
Yay.
Cameron's actually happy for one. Yeah.
Mine wasn't last this time.
Mine just wasn't last.
Star Wars fireworks.
All right. We have a post show coming up, Wigs members, so stay tuned.
Before we go, Matt Reviewer, thank you for 99 cents.
Oh, thank you. That's very sweet.
Thank you.
We'll put it towards the studio. And for the last time from this studio, remember, kids, Disneyland is not just another amusement park. It's unique, and I want it kept that way. Besides, you don't work for $1. You work to create and have fun. Guess who said that? Good night.